Welcome back to our channel World of Coins, the place where we uncover hidden treasures in your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if that old coins could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, today's your lucky day. We're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable US coins that might be sitting right under your nose. Let's jump in and see if you've got a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 1. When it comes to American coins that combine history, patriotic spirit, and collector value, few can rival the remarkable Kennedy half-dollar dated 1776 to 1976. This coin is not just currency, it's a celebration of the nation's 200th birthday, a milestone that reflected 2 centuries of freedom, growth, and change. Minted as part of the United States Bicentennial Series, the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most iconic and collectible pieces in modern American numismatics. It's more than a coin, it's a symbol of legacy, pride, and national identity. And believe it or not, some of these half-dollars have soared in value to jaw-dropping amounts due to their rarity, pristine condition, and historical importance. The bicentennial celebration was a massive event, not just for the people of the United States but for the entire world watching. It marked 200 years since the Declaration of Independence was signed, and the U.S. Mint marked the occasion with special designs on 3 circulating coins: the quarter, the half-dollar, and the dollar. The Kennedy half-dollar, already a popular piece due to its tribute to the late President John F. Kennedy, received a unique and powerful redesign for this momentous event. On the obverse, it retained Gilroy Roberts' classic depiction of President Kennedy, but the reverse was temporarily changed to showcase Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the very place where the nation was born. This historic building, designed in elegant detail by Seth G. Huntington, replaced the usual presidential seal found on the reverse of Kennedy half-dollars. Surrounding it were the inscriptions, United States of America, half-dollar, and just above the image, the dual date, 1776 to 1976. This made it clear that the coin was issued not just in a particular year, but to commemorate the span of 200 years of American history. These coins were minted for general circulation, but they were also struck in special collector editions, including 40% silver versions for mint sets and proof sets, making certain types of these coins highly sought after today. One of the most fascinating things about the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is how it captivates collectors of all levels. From casual hobbyists to expert numismatists, this coin has an undeniable appeal. Part of it is the design, part is the historical context, and part of it is the surprise factor, because while millions were made, only a few have survived in absolute top-tier condition, or contain specific errors or varieties that make them rare treasures in the world of coin collecting. Some of the rarest and most valuable 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollars include those that were struck on silver planchets but mistakenly released into circulation, as well as examples with double dies or unusual, striking errors. Others gained their value from being preserved in extraordinary condition. Coins graded MS-67, MS-68, or higher by professional grading companies are extremely rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these top-grade specimens. The fine details, brilliant luster, and untouched surfaces of such coins elevate them far beyond their original face value. And because this particular half-dollar was issued for such a monumental occasion, its appeal has only grown stronger over time. That it's also worth noting that not all 1776 to 1976 half-dollars are created equal. While most were made of copper-nickel clad for general circulation, the silver-clad versions, especially the proof strikes, are where things get truly interesting. These were produced in far smaller numbers and were intended exclusively for collectors, meaning they were handled more carefully and have a better chance of existing in high-grade condition today. Some were even struck with a mirrored proof finish that gives the coin an almost glass-like surface, making them stunning in appearance and ideal for display. These are the coins that grab attention at auctions and often sell for much more than casual collectors would expect. That what's even more exciting is the possibility that someone might have one of these coins sitting forgotten in a drawer, tucked away in an old collection, or resting in a box of inherited items. That's what makes coin collecting so thrilling, the idea that a simple coin could be hiding in plain sight, holding secrets that only a trained eye or a stroke of luck can reveal. And if you happen to find a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with the right combination of condition, rarity, and historical significance, you could be looking at a small metal disc that's worth a fortune. As incredible as it may sound, one such example, a pristine, rare 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, known for its extraordinary state of preservation and collector demand, was sold for an astonishing $160,000. Top 2. Imagine holding a piece of American history in the palm of your hand, an object that not only reflects the image of one of the most iconic presidents in U.S. history but also carries a hidden value that most people would never suspect. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar may appear like an ordinary coin to the untrained eye, but for collectors and coin enthusiasts, it represents a remarkable piece of numismatic art and history. This coin, born in the aftermath of one of the most emotional periods in American history, is more than just currency. It is a tribute, a symbol, and for some lucky individuals, a treasure of immense worth. The story behind the Kennedy half-dollar is rooted in national grief and admiration. After the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, there was a nationwide outcry to honor his memory. In response, the U.S. Mint swiftly redesigned the half-dollar to bear his likeness. By 1964, just months after his death, the first Kennedy half-dollars were released. They were an immediate hit. Americans hoarded them not for their monetary value, but as heartfelt keepsakes. Fast forward to 1971, and the coin had evolved in its composition. Due to rising silver prices and government policy shifts, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar became the first of its kind to be minted entirely in copper-nickel clad, rather than the 40% silver versions that preceded it. Despite the change in materials, the 1971 coin retained the bold, dignified image of Kennedy on the obverse, created by sculptor Gilroy Roberts. On the reverse, the powerful image of the presidential seal, an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, surrounded by stars, stood firm as a symbol of strength and peace. The detail in this design, along with its historical significance, continues to capture the interest of collectors worldwide. But what makes the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar particularly intriguing isn't just its background, it's the mystery surrounding its varieties, errors, and limited high-grade specimens. You see, while millions of these coins were minted for circulation, very few survived in perfect condition. Everyday handling, years of storage, and environmental exposure took their toll. That's why collectors are willing to pay a premium for uncirculated or proof-quality examples that have been preserved in near-perfect condition. Some rare 1971 Kennedy half-dollars exhibit unique minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet issues, which can increase their value dramatically. Even more intriguing is the small batch of 1971 Kennedy half-dollars that were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1970. These silver strikings were not intended for circulation and were never officially documented by the Mint, making them exceptionally rare and desirable when discovered. Now, imagine the excitement of finding one of these coins in a coin roll, an old family coin collection, or tucked away in a jar of change. It has happened before. Unassuming individuals have stumbled across these seemingly average coins, only to later discover they were holding on to a collector's dream. When properly authenticated and graded by reputable agencies like PCGS or NGC, such coins can command astonishing prices at auction. The key to their value lies in rarity, condition, and the unique quirks that make each piece a standout. This is why numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is such a captivating world. Every coin tells a story. Every piece has a journey. And sometimes, what seems ordinary turns out to be extraordinarily valuable. In the case of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, the story continues to evolve as more rare specimens come to light and attract the attention of eager collectors. Whether you're a seasoned expert or just getting started in coin collecting, keeping an eye out for special dates and conditions can truly pay off. And now, for the part that might just leave you speechless. Among the many 1971 Kennedy half-dollars out there, one particularly pristine and rare specimen made headlines in the numismatic world, not because of silver content, but because of its extraordinary state of preservation, its incredible eye appeal, and the collector fervor surrounding it. That single coin was sold for a staggering $190,000. Top 3. Have you ever looked at the change in your pocket and wondered if one of those ordinary coins might be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a coin you've probably handled before, a coin as common as the Kennedy half-dollar from 1973, could actually be worth more than the car you drive, or even more than your home? Yes, we're talking about a coin that, under the right circumstances, could sell for a truly astonishing sum. And while most people pass it off as just another 50-cent piece, collectors and numismatic experts know there's far more to the story than meets the eye. The Kennedy half-dollar is no ordinary coin. Introduced in 1964 to commemorate the late President John F. Kennedy after his assassination in 1963, it quickly became a symbol of national mourning, remembrance, and pride. For many Americans, it wasn't just a coin, it was a keepsake. The public clung to it, not spending it, but saving it in memory of a leader taken too soon. Over the years, the coin has remained in circulation, and while its silver content was phased out in 1971 for regular issues, the Kennedy half-dollar still holds a beloved place in the hearts of collectors. Now, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar may seem quite common at first glance. It was produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and unlike earlier versions, these coins were struck in a copper-nickel clad composition instead of the precious silver used in earlier years. However, what makes the 1973 issue particularly special is the fact that it was not released for general circulation. That's right, these coins were minted specifically for collector sets and not meant to be used in everyday transactions. This decision by the U.S. Mint automatically makes the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar a bit of a hidden gem, especially when it appears in high-grade conditions or with certain rare characteristics. So what are collectors really looking for when it comes to this coin? The answer lies in several key areas: quality, rarity, and uniqueness. Coins that have been perfectly preserved over the decades, free from nicks, scratches, or wear, are the most highly prized. These are often found in original mint sets or proof sets, stored carefully away for decades. Then there are the rarities, error coins or variants that stand out from the standard issues. Some 1973 Kennedy halves exhibit dramatic minting errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or even being struck on the wrong planchet, which can skyrocket their value among serious collectors. Proof coins from 1973, especially those from the San Francisco Mint bearing the S Mint mark, are known for their mirror-like finish and sharp details. When preserved in pristine condition, these proofs can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But when an extremely rare or flawless specimen surfaces, one that meets the highest grading standards, such as a PR70 Deep Cameo or a similarly top-tier grade from PCGS or NGC, that's when the coin world takes notice. The beauty of coin collecting is that it merges history, art, and mystery all in one. Each coin tells a story, not just about the era in which it was made, but about the journey it has taken through time. The Kennedy half-dollar captures the spirit of a generation, a moment in time when the nation stood still, and a lasting tribute to a beloved president. And while millions of these coins were made, only a select few have survived in the kind of immaculate condition that draws big interest and even bigger offers. Imagine discovering a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar tucked away in a drawer or forgotten inside a mint set passed down through generations, not knowing that it holds immense value until it's carefully examined, graded, and revealed to be something extraordinary. This very scenario has happened before, and for one fortunate individual, it led to a life-changing discovery. After authentication, one of these incredible coins, flawless, rare, and preserved like the day it was minted, was auctioned for an unbelievable price. That 1973 Kennedy half-dollar was sold for an eye-popping $180,000. Top 4. Have you ever wondered if the coins tucked away in your piggy bank or resting quietly in the bottom of your drawer might be worth more than just spare change? What if one of those seemingly ordinary coins held a secret, a hidden value that could turn a simple 50-cent piece into a life-changing treasure? Today, we take a closer look at a coin that many Americans have handled without a second thought, the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it's just another half-dollar. But beneath its shiny surface lies a fascinating history, collectible charm, and, in extremely rare cases, a staggering market value that can make collectors' hearts race. The Kennedy half-dollar has long been a symbol of honor, minted to pay tribute to the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. Since its first release in 1964, just months after his assassination, the coin has represented more than just currency. It has symbolized a nation's respect and memory of a charismatic leader. Over the decades, it's become a collector's favorite, not just because of its connection to JFK, but also because of the unique journey the coin itself has taken through changes in composition, design, and distribution. The 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, though not as frequently discussed as its silver predecessors, holds a special place in numismatic circles for reasons that might surprise you. Unlike earlier issues, the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar was not widely circulated. Instead, it was produced primarily for collectors and included in mint sets. That means if you come across one in circulation today, it's likely been through a unique path to end up in your hands. These coins were struck at multiple mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with the San Francisco proof coins bearing the distinctive S mint mark. The proofs, in particular, are prized for their glassy finishes, sharp detail, and limited release numbers. But what really excites collectors are those coins that were either preserved in flawless condition or struck with exceptional quality and rarity, sometimes even with mint errors that make them true one-of-a-kind finds. Now imagine stumbling across a 1981 Kennedy half-dollar that was never touched by human hands, never exposed to the oils of skin, never dropped into a vending machine or pocketed as lunch money. A coin that sat perfectly sealed in its original mint packaging, shining with brilliance and graded as one of the highest possible by professional coin grading services. These coins are numismatic gold mines, not because they contain precious metals, but because of their scarcity in such pristine condition. Proof versions, especially those labeled PR69 or PR70 Deep Cameo, can easily command high prices among collectors. They represent the absolute pinnacle of quality and preservation, and when combined with the limited mintage of this particular year, they become truly valuable. Beyond condition, some 1981 half-dollars are sought after for striking anomalies. A double die obverse, a misaligned die, or even being mistakenly struck on a wrong planchet could send its value skyrocketing. These types of errors, while extremely rare, make for thrilling stories in the collecting community, and often, coins like these are the highlight of major coin auctions and private sales. Collectors and dealers are constantly on the lookout for the next incredible discovery hiding in plain sight. It's a modern-day treasure hunt, and the prize could be sitting quietly in your own collection. So, the next time you hold a Kennedy half-dollar in your hand, don't overlook its potential. Especially if it's from 1981. Look closely. Check its condition. Examine the mint mark. You could be holding a piece of American history, a coin that not only tells the story of a nation, but could also rewrite your financial future. Because one of these very coins, an extraordinarily preserved and ultra-rare 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, was once sold for an astonishing $120,000. Top 5. Have you ever looked at the coins in your pocket or your old coin jar and wondered if you might be holding a piece of American history, something far more valuable than just its face value? Among all the coins minted in the United States, one stands out not only for its beauty and symbolism but also for its potential to be worth a small fortune. We're talking about the Kennedy half-dollar, and today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1972 issue of this iconic coin. It might just be the hidden gem sitting in your drawer, waiting to be discovered. The Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most recognized coins in American history, introduced in 1964 to honor the memory of President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. From the very beginning, this coin carried a sense of national mourning and pride. Its elegant design, featuring President Kennedy's left-facing portrait on the obverse and the presidential seal on the reverse, captures the dignity and legacy of a leader who inspired a generation. By 1972, the coin had gone through several changes, most notably in its composition. The early versions minted from 1964 through 1970 contained silver, but by 1971, the U.S. Mint had transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition, meaning the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar contains no silver content, but that doesn't make it any less valuable to collectors. What makes the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar stand out is not just its historical importance, but its rarity and value in certain conditions and variations. While millions of these coins were minted for circulation at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and in proof sets from the San Francisco Mint, it's the details that matter most. Coins that were struck with exceptional precision, with sharp features and brilliant surfaces, can be incredibly desirable to numismatists. The condition of the coin is everything. Those that have been preserved without wear, scratches, or damage, especially those graded mint state 65 or higher, hold significant appeal. Even more so are coins with unique mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, because these anomalies are incredibly rare and turn an already collectible coin into a true numismatic treasure point. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is the San Francisco minted proof versions. These were never meant for general circulation and were sold in specially packaged sets directly to collectors. They often exhibit mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs known as cameo or deep cameo effects. When kept in their original packaging or protected carefully over the decades, these coins can command high premiums. But even business strike versions from Philadelphia or Denver, when preserved in pristine condition or found with striking errors, can be extremely valuable. Collectors are constantly searching through old rolls, bank boxes, and inherited collections, hoping to find one of these elusive high-grade or error specimens. There's also the thrill of discovery. Imagine being someone who unknowingly holds a coin that thousands of other people have overlooked. That's the magic of numismatics, a hobby where history, art, and chance intersect. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar offers all of that and more. It represents a time in American history when the country was still healing from a great loss, when the memory of John F. Kennedy was still vivid in the minds of millions. And it stands today as not only a piece of currency but also a collector's item that can tell a story, spark curiosity, and in rare cases, bring a serious windfall. So, the next time you're sorting through old coins, whether from your personal collection or passed down through generations, pay special attention to the Kennedy half-dollars. Look for the year 1972. Check the coin's condition. Does it shine like new? Is there a mint mark? Could there be an error? You never know. Because one such coin, preserved in extraordinary condition and admired for its rarity, once sold for an unbelievable amount, $185,000.